Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to do the second half of my 12 by 12 Christmas card one sheet wonder. And so this is the first 5 cards that we made. These 2 are from this first piece that we cut. These 2 pieces make card 1. This strip here makes card 2. Then this piece makes card 3. Oh, and all of them have stuff on the inside. So, like is my practice, I don't like leaving things with being naked on the inside. So all of them have a little something. So this is card number 4, which is this one, where we use this pattern paper and then turn the paper over. And this is card number 5, where we have 1.5-inch squares with the use of an embossing folder. So those are the first 5 cards that we made in the last video, and I'm going to move straight away into these cards here, and I'll move this out of the way for this one so we can just get on with the cards. So this first one, well, I'm going to bring it back to show you. This first one is 3.5 by 5 inches out of the pattern paper. And what I've done with this one is to put it on a red layering base here. And then I've got this piece here. And I've got these 2 pieces here to put my sentiment, and then I've got a piece of gold for the inside of the card. So that's what we're going to do. In fact, maybe this one was meant to go on the outside. I think it was. Go on the outside and then like this, and then I think I will have a little strip of gold that we can put on the inside to bring the 2 pieces together. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm just going to get started here. On this one, I'm going to layer this piece here on my layering piece. My glue is a little reluctant. I think I'm getting to the end. Okay, so here, centered on this piece, then this piece put across the front of the card like this. And again, this is, you'll remember from the first video, that this is cut for a one sheet wonder, and then using all kinds of complementary cardstocks and ribbons and sentiments and punches to make it a little bit different. Now this piece, I colored the very vanilla ribbon with the gold trim in real red using my real red alcohol marker, and I'm just going to put some glue on the back side of this piece of ribbon. And I'm going to lay this piece all the way across the front of the card and secure this ribbon on the back. And then we have a multiple of choices for this, and I kind of like the idea of this one. It says, "May your Christmas sparkle with joy and happiness," and it would fit better this way, so I'm going to put this medallion on this way. And I'm going to use my red ink and I'm going to be using my Pierce mat here. And there we go. All right, close up my ink. I will be covered in red ink by the time we're done. It just seems to be the way this works. Okay, so now I'm going to put some glue on the back of my sentiment here. Center this on here. And what I did for this was I cut a whole bunch of circles and banners and shapes out of dies and punches so that I would have a bunch of things on hand to make this easy to do. So now I'm going to lift this up on dimensionals. There we go. And perhaps with this one, what I could do is put a few sequins on. So I dug out a few of the sequins from my metals or metallic sequin mix and got some gold ones ready ahead of time here. So we can put a few sequins on our card here. And then for the inside of our card, I'm going to let that dry for a second. I had set aside a little piece of gold, and I thought I would cut this to fit right along here, and I'm going to use my dot runner on the back of this one so I don't get too much extraneous glue, and set that into place along the inside of the card. And then I can just use my snips to cut this one off so I have a perfect fit. There we go. And I think that's all I'm going to do to the inside of the card. And so now hopefully this has had a second to dry, maybe just to make sure. I'll put my glue on this side of the card front and then stick my panel down, leaving a little bit of a margin along the edge here. And putting that one into place like that. And there we go. There is card number 6. I'm going to move right along to the next card here. And this one is on our card cutting. It's these two cards that I'm going to make. And the first one I put on a red base with the softly falling embossing folder. Then this piece I'm putting up here in the corner, and I think I'll move that all the way to the top. Then this piece I was going to put on here and run a piece of this pretty ribbon underneath this, and then I have another piece of pretty ribbon to go on the inside. So that's the construction of this one. So I'm going to go ahead and just start putting this together. And I am laying this one down and not putting it on dimensionals because I've already got the embossing folder run on the panel, and I think that's going to be enough dimension, and I'll probably raise my sentiment piece just a little. So there we go, setting that piece on there. Then I think we need to figure out what we're putting on this one, and I put these 3 stamps together that say merry and bright, and I think they will fit along there just perfectly. And maybe on this one we'll do it in the green. And so I will ink these up, and I'm going to off screen put that on a piece of scratch paper first, because I'd not stamped some of these before, and take this and set it down here. I love this kind of project because I can change my mind. I can do anything I want as I go. I do also have a piece of this ribbon colored in green, and since I put my sentiment here on green, I think I'm going to use the green ribbon across here. So I'm going to use my dot runner on the back side of this one, and that's what I mean by having whole lots of pieces set aside for a project like this, so that you can change your mind midway and decide to do something a little bit different. And so there's that. Then I need to put this on here, and given that this is glitter, I'm going to use glue dots. So I'm going to use actually quite a few glue dots all the way around this panel, and put my glue dots on here, and maybe pick up one for the center. There we go. And oops, it looks like I missed one. Pick one up for that side. Okay, then I want to center this on here. There we go, and have that there, and place this across here. And I think I will use dimensionals on this one to pick it up a little bit. And put that into place right here. And I think this one calls for something gold, so I'm going to use those sequins again. The eye appreciates things done in odd numbers. So with this, I'm going to try to make this 5. So there's 4, and I'm going to add one more. Pick up a little bit of glue here, and let's see, maybe set this one over here. Okay, I'm going to let that dry for a minute, and then on the inside, I thought this would be nice if we put a little sentiment, and I have wishing you peace and love all year long, and I'm going to put that in the center on the inside here. There we, oh dear, now I've got this beautiful smudge over here. I think I did that with my hand. Okay. So that is going to require something a little bit more. So I think what I'm going to do is to put a strip of red right along the edge, and so I need a piece that is pretty substantial in size. I'm thinking maybe 3/4 of an inch, and then it needs to be, to cover that, 5 1/2. So I'm going to cut this at 5 1/2, and this is part of the problem of leaving your inks open on your desk. you can get yourself in all kinds of a mess here. So I'm going to close that down and move these out of the way and take my piece and let's see, if I put this across here, the first thing I'm going to do is take my little sand eraser and take a little bit of that ink off the edge. So it can't be seen underneath this when I put this in place. So now I just need to add some glue to this and put this in place right along that edge. I'm going to use my eraser to pick up any little glue residue. I still have some green on me here someplace because I keep picking up a little bit of green. Looked like this was more intentional, and I do. I have a little strip of this gold here that I'm going to cut at a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to cut that at 5 1/4. And that leaves me a nice, another nice little sparkle strip to use someplace else. And I'm going to take this piece and put it right along here. And I think I'm going to use my Tombow glue to do that. And use this to put into place right along there. And there we have a nice decoration for our inside, although I'll have to admit it wasn't planned that way. But that's the way this goes. So I'm going to put some snail on the back of my card here. And on my ribbon. And put this into place on the front of our card here. And there we go. Now we've got that nice little card number 7. Okay, now let's move on to card number 8. So card number 8 is exactly the same pieces, but done with a little different idea. So this one I put on a red card base, and I have this pretty swirls and curls piece here, and I have this piece here. I'm going to make it a little bit different in that I'm going to inset it a little bit so we can see more of the card than on this one. So I think I need to adhere this piece to my embossed piece. Make sure I get those corners. And I'm going to inset this so it has a little bit of a margin on both sides. There we go. Then I'm going to use one of these pieces of ribbon across the front of my card, not dissimilar to what I did there. And so again, I'm going to put a little bit of snail on the back of my ribbon to make sure it stays in place. And this one has a completely different feel because of the color choice. And it really won't look too much like the other one, and gives you yet another choice for how to decorate your card. Just going to trim that little piece off. So here we go. We've got our ribbon on there, and I think I'm going to go ahead and put this on right now. And put that on my card base, and I think it picks up the red just beautifully. Then on this one, I have a gold medallion here to go across here with this sentiment piece in here, and then I had pre-made a little bow to kind of go on the bottom here. So the next thing we have to do is figure out what sentiment we want on here, and I have this pretty Noel. So I think I'm going to do that in the red. And like I said, the two stamp sets I'm using with this is Merry Christmas to All and Christmas Pines, because some of it I have set up on my Stamparatus, and other pieces I have just set up on blocks. And between the two, there's enough sentiments that I can get pretty much anything and everything I want on there. So I'm going to re-ink that a little bit. And where's my mat here? And just put my Noel right in the center. Oh dear. So, what do you do when it doesn't stamp completely? You get your Stampin' Right marker that is real red, and you fill it in. I should have checked that inking a little bit more carefully. And so this Noel is nice big letters here, and so I will just fill in my Noel. Knowing that this ink spreads just a little bit, so I'm really going to be a little cautious and not go too close to the ends, but still get my full coverage. And now I have a very nice, crisply filled in Noel. All right, so now I'm going to take that Noel and I'm going to put some snail on the back of it and put it on my nice big medallion here. And put that into place right there. And I think I am going to put that up on dimensionals. Well in place. And then I'm going to use a couple of glue dots here to put my ribbon in place. So I'm going to pick up a couple of glue dots on the back side of my ribbon and put that into place. Right down here at the bottom of my card. Then I have another piece of ribbon here to go on the inside, and I'll put some nice long piece because I want it to go on lengthwise right here on the inside of our card. And secure my ribbon down here. Then I have a little piece of red that I thought I might run right down the middle of the cream colored ribbon to bring a little bit of that red color as a little bit of an enhancement. I can feel that there's not enough glue on that end. Okay, so taking this and centering it on the cream colored ribbon, there we go, and get that put in place on the back of our panel here. Could have centered that one a little bit better. And then I can go ahead and put this piece in place on the inside of my card. And there we have our card. And you certainly could put another sentiment on the inside, or this would be kind of fun. We've got this little flourish here. Maybe we could put a flourish right up here in the corner, and maybe one right down here in the corner. And there we've got a nicely decorated inside of our card. Card number 8. Well, I'm just going to keep moving along here, and card number 9 is one from here that is this one, and I cut this one into 3/4 inch strips, and I have a piece of Softly Falling that I've embossed here, and I thought I would just glue these down. This one is really very simple and yet gives a really nice different appearance. Just need glue on your ends pretty well, and this one is set to go at 5 inches, so I'm going to leave a little tiny margin top and bottom and along the edge. Then I'm going to let's see, I'm going to run another strip the opposite direction, and the only thing here you need to do is match your tops and your bottoms, and it's pretty easy since it was all cut from the same piece of paper. And I'm going to run this one showing the pattern. Here, and now our embossing is starting to show through. And so here we go. Yep, I think that's, nope, I did that wrong. So I'm going to have to take the glue off of this one. Okay, so you saw I got a little bit of a rough edge, so I just cut a smidgen off of that and ran my marker along the edge to catch anything else that shows that might be white. And I am going to put my glue on the right side this time and put this last piece into place here. And there we have the basis for our other card here. Then I have a very large piece of sparkle here and this medallion. And let's see, I think on this one what I'm going to do is put a little of the green. So what I'm going to do is to ink up these bows, and I'm going to stamp off once on my scratch paper, and then I am going to ink the set of bows across my very vanilla medallion here, and put lots of pressure all over this stamp because it's a big one, and make sure that I get my bows every place on here that I want. And there we go. Now I can put my sentiment over the top of that, and I'm going to do that in the red. And I think, because I've got this great big sparkle thing here, I'm going to see if this will fit in. I think it will. Across here that says, "May your Christmas sparkle with joy and happiness." So there. There you go. All right. So now we'll put some, let's see, I think we need glue dots on this one because it's going on the glitter front. And put that on my card front here, or my sparkle panel. And I think I will raise that one on dimensionals. So I'm going to center this on the front here, and then on the inside of the card, I thought I would put this piece along the edge here and use some tape runner here to get that piece put in place. And then use, again, a little bit of tape runner, mostly just to anchor it a little bit, and put that in the center of my sparkle stuff here. There we go. Like that. And then we can put our inside piece in place. Okay. And there we go. There we've got our inside piece, and our outside piece is all ready to go here. And I have another piece of ribbon here. You know, I don't think I'm going to use it. I think I'm just going to let that be. Oops. Now I'm really out of... Put this piece into place. And I thought on this one I would use some of the red rhinestones that we have here. Group of 3 there, and I think that's fine. That is card number 9. All right, and jump right into the next one, card number 10. And what I have in mind for this one is just a very simple tape. In fact, I think I'm going to switch this plain one out here for one that's been embossed. So I'm going to put this one on the front of our card here, and I think we can just go ahead and put that one on directly. So my embossed piece here, and my idea here was to put on some banners, nice big gold banner. Fishtail it here. All right, so that really covered an awful lot of the card here, and I'm going to go ahead and put that one into place right here, and then fishtail this pretty piece of designer series paper as well, and put that banner across here, like right next to it there. Coming right up to the top of the paper. And then I gave myself a couple of choices here to set this across here, but I'm thinking that maybe what I should do is do something like this, and yep, I think so. So I need to pick a sentiment to go on here, and I do have one that says Season of Joy that I think will just fit on there, and I can use my red ink. And again, this one is very simple, but I think very pretty. So let's see if I set this up, that up straight, and then center my Season of Joy, holding it in place for just a second to get let the ink soak in here. And there we go, we've got a beautiful Season of Joy. Now I have two choices. I can put it on the red and just put it across here, which I think is very pretty. Or I can do all three. Or I can put this on the gold. I think I like the red the best. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of snail on this, center it on this piece of red. All right, and I think that there is going to be perfect, and I'm going to put that up on dimensionals. I'm going to use some of the gold sequins on this. And there we go. There's card number 10, I think it is. So I should have two left, and I do. So here is card number 11. And this one I've got set up to have this piece of designer series paper put right at the top, which I'm going to do straight away. And then this piece of ribbon to go right at the bottom of that. And do that in the very vanilla. and just get the gold edge right over the edge of the paper and wrap that around to the back. Then I had this medallion here to put my Noel stamp on again. So I'm going to watch the inking a little bit better on this one. And make sure I've got my Noel completely inked. And set into place here. Let that sit and get the ink to transfer to the paper. And there we go. Almost. Still, it's a big stamp, and it looks like that'd be one to set up on the Stamparatus as I think about it, because then you could do it multiple times and not have to worry about the filling in later. But the filling in works. And it's mostly just touch-up. And you can always use your pen end if you've got some issues on smaller spots. I think that's going to do it. Okay, so then this Noel is going to go up on the ribbon a little bit and go right into place right here. And I think I can use snail on the back of this and get this centered on my gold piece. And just a little low. There. All right, and then this piece can go up on dimensionals. That can go right here in the center. I have a bow for just above here that I will use a couple of blue dots on and put that into place. Right on my ribbon there, and there we have that, and I'm going to put a couple of red rhinestones around here. That's all ready to go. I'm going to put that in place on my card base here. And I think it's very elegant, the cream on the cream here. And I used all very vanilla paper with this, this whole set. And there's card number 11. And then last but not least, we have card number 12. So I'm going to close it right. Here is our last card for this one. And I have, again, actually a plainer front on this one. And I'm going to put this right on the bottom of the card. On the layering piece for the front, right at the bottom. And then I've colored some of this pretty red ribbon with the alcohol markers. And I'm going to put a piece of this ribbon right at the top of this piece of paper, going around to the back. And then I have another ribbon that I'm going to put here at the top and do the same thing. Leaving a pretty tiny margin there. And that's going to go on here. And then this medallion here with a little bit of embossing on it. And I'm going to put that in place here between the two pieces of red ribbon. And then on this piece, I wanted to put, I think that is too long. It is, unless I cut a strip that just goes across, and I have a little piece of Very Vanilla here, and I think I'm going to do that because I really wanted to put Christmas blessings on this one. So I'm going to. So I'm going to ink up my Christmas blessings and put it to one side and towards the bottom of this piece of Very Vanilla. See if I can get a good image on here. And I did. So now I'm going to cut this so that it's got about that same amount on the other side, and just trim the top down a bit, and I think that's going to fit inside my oval. All right, so there's my Christmas blessings, and it will fit nicely inside my medallion here. So I'm just going to use some snail on the back of my piece here. And put that into place here so that it says Christmas blessings, and that is the front of my card. So now I will put that into place. On my card front. And these two were done with just 2" by 4" pieces. Isn't that pretty? And they're similar, but actually quite different looking. So that's that. And then for the inside of this one, I thought we could put a sentiment and then this red ribbon across the side here. So I have a little bit of red ribbon here to go along the edge. I'm going to snip that off a little. And anchor those two pieces down. And then I have my wishing you peace and love all year long. And I thought that would be lovely on the inside. So I'm going to ink that up. And I'm not going to worry about straight because I'm going to put it at an angle here. There we go. Wishing you peace and love all year long. That will dry into a nice bright color there. And then this piece is ready to go on the inside of my card. And there we are. I'll bring back the other cards that we made with this. Let's see, what embellishments? I think gold on this. So this is going to be gold sequins. There we go. And so there is our 12th card. So that is the project that I have for 2 days worth of videos here, so that we get this up. And if you're looking for sort of a last-minute project and you have minimal supplies, like just a couple of pages of designer series paper, and you've got a little red and a little white or a little vanilla, here you can put together. So I'm going to put these down here and show you the variety of things you can do with one 12 by 12 piece of designer series paper. So this is going to be hard to get them all put on here. So let me start with the original 5, and I'll put those down here as well. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator, or you could join my team. There's some wonderful join opportunities, particularly in January, starting in January. $175 worth of product for $99 to join, and the opportunity to buy that beautiful Craft and Carry tote for $50. In fact, it's the only way you can get one, and it's not going to be on sale to the public or any other way except as part of a join package. If you're already a demonstrator, you can buy one. We have a little restrictions on that, so there's plenty available for those who want to join. Anyway, there is my holiday 12 by 12 Christmas project. And with 2 or 3 pieces of designer series paper in a Christmas pattern, one can make quite a few of these Christmas cards and sit down in a day or 2 and make all of your Christmas cards out of this lovely stuff. And all you need is some complimentary ribbon, a couple of embossing folders, you need some ribbon, and maybe a little bit of sparkle or foil paper. And you know, really, when you think about it, it's pretty monochromatic. All of them are made with just a few simple supplies. Now it takes a little bit of time, only because you have to think your way through them. But you know, with this layout that I've got here, and this PDF is going to be on my blog by see, I think I said I promised it by Saturday morning. That's going to show you exactly how to use the pieces here, and this piece for here, this piece for here, these 2 pieces here for this one. This card is these 3 pieces. Here is this one. Then we have 2 at an angle, here, here, and here. Then we have our strips back and forth. Then we have card number 10. Then we have 2 more. And I used this last one here, this strip here, and this strip here to make decorations for the inside. And we really didn't use them, so I may go back and put some of these 1/4-inch strips on some of the ones on the inside. Or you could actually turn this into another card and this into yet another card if you wanted to. So that's it for me today. Thanks so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. I have one more Christmas card that I'll be putting up in the next day or so, and then it's on to the occasions catalog. So that's it for me today. The prize for December is a $45 shopping spree on me in January for the December draw, which means that you can order from the new catalog. So thanks again so much for watching, and I'll be back soon with more cards and more projects. Bye!